Hi, this is Daryl Myatt. I want to talk to you today about Islam. What is it? And can Islam be found in the Holy Bible? I've got 15 minutes, so let's get right to it. The origins of Islam and Sharia law. The Islamic religion began in Saudi Arabia in the 7th century AD by Muhammad, who claimed the angel Gabriel visited him over a period of 23 years. Now, Gabriel purportedly revealed God's plan, Allah's plan, which Muhammad recorded in the Quran, Islam's holy book. Muslims, the followers of Islam, believe Allah is the only true God, and Muhammad was Allah's prophet. Now, the word Muslim means one who submits to Allah. Islam teaches that its followers gain paradise only through good works and obedience to the Quran. Now, Sharia is the Islamic legal framework that regulates all aspects of Muslim life, including daily routines, religious obligations, and familial and financial dealings. Now, Sharia is based upon the teachings of the Quran and the Sunnah, the Islamic customs, practices, and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad. The term Sharia literally means the path in Arabic. Although Sharia law is primarily intended only for Muslims, it also applies to some degree for non-Muslims living in a Muslim society or nation. Now, there are varying degrees of Sharia law, ranging from a very strict interpretation as practiced in Saudi Arabia to a more moderate application as is practiced in Malaysia. Now, fundamental Sharia prescribes cruel punishments such as stoning of adulterers, the amputation of a hand or foot of a thief, public flogging if one is caught drinking alcohol, and death to infidels or non-Muslims. And those leaving the Muslim religion are to be killed. Now, I don't know if you've seen this, but recently a woman was charged with adultery and they were going to stone her to death. Well, the international outcry, they found out that, she wasn't guilty, but they went ahead and gave her 99 lashes anyway. I've also seen videos where they've run over a little 7-year-old boy's arm because he stole a loaf of bread because he was starving and his family was starving. They ran over his arm, maimed him for life. There is brutal and unequal treatment of women. They're routinely beaten or the subjects of honor killings by their male relatives to protect the family's good name. Women are prohibited from making noise with their shoes when they walk. They cannot work outside the home except in the medical field and must be driven to and from work by a man. Even then, women are required to wear either the niqab, a full body veil with slits for the eyes, or the burqa, a full face and body covering with only a mesh screen through which to see. In some countries, women are still forced into marriages and genital mutilations. Men are required to grow a beard long enough for a clenched fist to extend around it. Until recently, Islam was predominantly regarded as the religion of the Middle East, but not so anymore. The top 5 Muslim countries in the world are Egypt, Indonesia, Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh. Surprisingly, only one is in the Middle East. Even more surprising, growth trends in the world's Muslim population show that Russia has more Muslims than Libya and Jordan combined, Germany has more Muslims than Lebanon, and China has a bigger Muslim population than Syria. Historically, when Muslims establish a significant population in non-Muslim countries, they begin their campaign to implement Sharia law. Such is the case in many European countries now facing demands by their expanding Muslim populations, especially the Islamic extremists. Now, I say this because we need to be careful, because I, for one, do not want Sharia law or the Muslim people to take over my country. Let me read something to you from, listen to this. This is from Omar Ahmad, who is the chair of the Council on American Islamic Relations Incorporated, or CAIR, C-A-I-R. This is from July 1998, and he said, Islam isn't in America to be equal to any other faith, but to become dominant. The Quran should be the highest authority in America, and Islam the only accepted religion on earth. This is their plan, people. They want to dominate the world. They don't want peace. They don't want anything from you or me other than submission to Allah and Sharia law. That's what they're trying to do. That is why I speak out against it in America. Now listen, don't get me wrong. I'm not a hate monger. I'm not a fear monger. I don't hate Muslims. but I hate the Quran, and the Bible says to hate what is evil. I believe the Quran to be completely evil. You've heard me before. 3 strikes against Islam. Number 1, they claim that Jesus Christ is not the Son of God. Okay, strike 1. Jesus said to deny the Son is to deny the Father who sent him. Okay, strike 2, in the Quran it says that Jesus did not die on the cross, that Allah came and picked him up, took him off the cross, put an imposter in his place. What a load of crap that is. Sorry, forgive my frankness. So that's strike 2. Strike number 3, they think Abraham nearly sacrificed Ishmael instead of Isaac. They've taken the truth of the Bible and they've twisted it to make themselves heirs to the promise of God. Because, you know, who would want to be known as an enemy of God? Okay, if you read Psalm 83, all those countries that the Bible says are enemies of God are today, this day, all Muslim countries. Enemies of God. I'm not making this stuff up, people. Look it up. Okay, so, can Islam be found in the Bible? I submit to you today, yes, it can be. Let's go to Revelation 6, verse 1 through 8. First of all, there's 4 major belief systems that determine the allegiances and the behaviors of people in our world today. The 4 belief systems each have official colors by which they're identified. The colors are white, red, black, and green. Interestingly, these same 4 colors are used in the book of Revelation to foretell the 4 belief systems that will control the minds of men just before the second coming of Jesus to the earth. Now, the accuracy of this prophecy is amazing. Okay, hang with me here. Revelation 6, verse 1 through 8. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the 4 beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. And he went forth conquering and to conquer. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red. And power was given to him that sat upon that horse to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see that thou not hurt the oil and the wine. And when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th beast say, Come and see. And I looked, and behold, a green horse. I know, hold on. And his name that sat upon him was Death, and hell followed him. And power was given to them over the 4th part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. Okay, I know what you're thinking here, but let's go through these one by one, okay? First of all, besides being given in Revelation 6, verse 1 through 8, the prophecy of the 4 horsemen was also given in the Old Testament, in Zechariah 6, 1 through 8. Also, kind of weird, I don't know. In verse 5, we're told that the 4 horses and their riders are 4 spirits. Now, what spirits permeate the minds and hearts of men in our world today? Let's find out. Okay, the red horse. There's an international spirit in the earth today known as the red power. Nations who embrace communism or socialism are known as red nations. China, Russia, Romania, just a few examples. Revelation 6:4 states that the power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Now, everywhere communism has raised its ugly head, revolution and war has broken out. Soviet Union, China, Korea, Berlin, the Congo, Cuba, Vietnam. I could go on and on. Okay? Now, finally in this same verse, it says there was given to the rider of this red horse a great sword. Now, what greater military might exists in the world today than the combined power of Russia and China? I mean, who would want to go against them? The red spirit, which takes peace from the earth, is communism. Okay, let's talk about the black horse. The rider on the black horse in Revelation 6:5 had a pair of balances in his hand. Now, balances are a symbol of trade and commerce, right? Now, what international spirit in the world embodies the message of commerce? Well, capitalism, of course. The world's capitalist nations enjoy higher standards of living than any other nations of the world. Now, this is reinforced in the next portion. A measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny. Revelation 6:6. Now, one of the things heard daily in the news of capitalist countries is the Dow Jones Industrials, or the stock market report. This passage obviously sounds like a stock market report, and that's clearly at the center of a capitalist nation. Okay, let's talk about the white horse. Now, In his very interesting political science book, Communism, Democracy, and Catholic Power, Paul Blanchard contends that almost every conflict between nations in modern history has been produced by conflicts generated among three forces: communism, Catholicism, and capitalism. Now, Catholicism perfectly fits the description of the white horse rider of Revelation 6, verse 2. It is a Roman Catholic custom that the Pope dresses in white. His helicopter's white, his jet airplane is white, his Pope mobile is white. You know, if he had a horse, what color do you think it would be? It'd be a white one. Now, white is used as a symbol of peace. The predominant message of Roman Catholicism is the message of peace. The Vatican has become a diplomatic peace center for the whole world. Now, when peace negotiations are talked about, or whenever there needs to be talk of peace, the Pope is involved. Okay. Now, Revelation 6:2 states that the rider, the white horse, went forth conquering and to conquer. Now, although Catholicism at present has no army, it is certainly a conquering power. When the majority of the people of a nation becomes Catholic, that nation is referred to as a Catholic nation. Now, one of the Vatican's major goals is to conquer America. This is the spirit of the white horse. Conquering and to conquer is the spirit of the Roman Catholic Church. Okay, let's talk about the green horse. Now, I know several versions of the Bible describe this fourth horse of Revelation 6:8 as the pale horse. Yet the Greek word describing the color of this fourth horse was chloros. Look it up. The Greek word in the original text was chloros. Now, this is the origin of the word chlorophyll that makes plants green. Now, furthermore, the word chloros appeared 3 other times in the New Testament. Now, notice how chloros was translated each time. Mark 6:39, and he commanded them to make all sit down by companies upon the green grass. Revelation 8:7, and all green grass was burned up. Revelation 9:4, neither hurt any green thing. So, why then did the translators render chloros as pale in Revelation 6 verse 8? Now, I think the answer is pretty simple. When translating from one language to another, translators will use common sense to determine the best translation of a word or phrase. Now, when chloros was used to describe a horse, the translator undoubtedly thought that green could not be the proper translation, since there's no such thing as a green horse. Now, since pale green was one of the possible meanings of chloros, the translators used what seemed reasonable to them. Now, herein lies the mistake. They assumed that these were literal horses instead of symbols representing belief systems. They should have simply translated what the original text said. Now, the color green, as the color of Islam, was first used by the Prophet Muhammad himself. The color of the Islamic flag is green. To Muslims, green represents the freshness of Islam, and how it is meant to bring the mind of the Muslim from ignorance into light. Now, today, all the trim on the Temple Mount, where Islam is presently in control, is painted green. Notice the trim on the businesses owned by the Muslims in the old city of Jerusalem. The minarets of Islamic mosques are lit up with green lights at night. When there are Islamic parades or demonstrations, you'll see a sea of green. If you've ever seen Hamas and all these people in Islam gather, there's green everywhere. Okay, so the prophecy of the green horse, Islam, is located in Revelation 6:8. Now, the next 3 verses, Revelation 6, verse 9 through 11, describe the opening of the 5th seal. The 5th seal contains the events of the Great Tribulation. Now, the Great Tribulation will occur during the 3.5 years immediately preceding the Battle of Armageddon and the return of Jesus Christ. Now, because of the rising influence of Islam in our world, many have begun to believe that the prophesied world government of the last days will be under control of Islam. However, other prophecies seem to contradict this belief. How am I doing on time? Kind of running out here, so I'm going to have to wrap this up. But I just want to say, we need to stop this from trying to take over America. Now, I know prophecies are going to happen regardless of what we do or how we act, but I, for one, will not give in to this belief system. Okay, because Jesus Christ is the Son of God. He died on the cross to save me, and He is coming back again one day. And He will defeat the Antichrist and the false prophet, of which, you know what, I think the false prophet's going to be the next pope. Okay, so Islam and the false prophet are going to go hand in hand. Jesus Christ is going to come back and defeat him and have His kingdom established here on earth. I pray that you know Jesus Christ, because He's the only way to God the Father, the one true God. God bless you.